Alright, today we're going to be talking about intersections of points, lines, and planes. An intersection happens when you have two things come together. Right, so I've got two diagrams here. They have lots and lots of intersections. Like we've got this line and this line intersect right there. Right, we've got the line intersecting the plane. Got lots of things. So over here we have two planes intersecting. They're coming together and intersecting each other. Also some lines intersecting as well. How about what happens when we do that? Before we start, I want to do two vocabulary terms. First one is collinear. Right? Anything that's collinear, co means with, and linear is a line. This just means that you have points on the same line. Right? Like in this diagram here, if I look at this line going across, point E, point D, point B, and point H are all on that line. So E, D, B, and H are all collinear because they're on the same line. Right. Coplanar, so again, co is with, planar is plane. This is when you have points or lines on the same plane. Right, so on this plane, I have a line this way and I have a line this way. So in this case, line CF and line EH are coplanar, right? Because they're both on the same plane. Back to our intersections. So we have a few different ways you can have intersections. So first of all, if I had 2 points, they aren't going to really intersect. I could put a point on top of a point, and it could like overlap, but that's not really an intersection. So an intersection could be between a point and a line. If I have a point and a line intersect, they intersect at a point, right? A point and a line together would make a point. Point with a line. So they cross where the point is. So in this case, my example from this picture would be line W intersects point H. Right? Line W and point H. Okay. So points and lines can intersect. I could have a line and another line intersect. Right? What happens when we draw 2 lines? If I draw 2 lines crossing, they meet on one point. Right? So for example, line CF and line EH cross at, so if you look at these 2 lines, what point do they touch each other on? That would be point D right here. Right. You could also say EH crosses AG at B. So we've got a line. We have, now we're talking about a line and a plane can intersect. Right? When a line and a plane intersect, there's actually 2 different ways. Right? This example shows both. So for example, these 2 lines here are like laying on the plane. Right? It's like if I took a piece of paper and drew a line on it that's going across, it's the whole line is laying on the plane. Right? So in that case, they would cross at a line. Cross on the line. So like here, plane, this is called plane X, and line W cross on line W. All of line W is laying on the plane. The second type is when the line goes up through the plane, like this line here. Kind of like I took a piece of paper and stuck a pencil up through the top of it. Right? It can also go like that. So it's going up through it. In this case, the plane and the line only touch in that one spot. So this would be like plane X and line T. Cross at, so if we look at where this line touches the plane, it's right here in the middle on point B. Right? So if it's a line in a plane, it can either, if it's laying, it crosses on the whole line. If it's going up through, it crosses on a point. Our last example is a plane and another plane. Right? For that one, we're going to look at this last example here. When I have two planes crossing, it's going to look like this. So if you look here, this plane and this plane, it's kind of like they make an X, but they're planes. So if we look at where they touch each other, it's this whole line going across here, right? So plane O and plane P cross at, this whole line would be called line L. Right? So that's the different kinds of intersections you're going to have. A point and a line make a point. Two lines make a point. A line in a plane can be a line or a point. Two planes are going to be a line.